Hello everybody, welcome back to my Korra Let's Play. This is part 2, we're still on level 1, chapter 1 I believe, whatever you want to call it. And we are still bashing in chi blockers, which starts to get a little old, but that doesn't go on too long. You gotta have fun with it, and then shortly you get water bending. And there's a little bit of loot in the game. I mean, yeah, I'll go back to it later. It can barely be classified as loot. It's more more references to the series rather than loot. But for whatever reason, they decide to give you references. Which, don't get me wrong, I love references. But there are items in this game that get sold to you in a shop, which would be a lot more helpful to get some, items than get more items. It'd be more helpful to get items than to get this. What do I get? A coin that does nothing. It just references an episode or something. This is a little kind of like a gear check they put in the game. It are these walls or chests. I guess the chests aren't really that important, but the walls will stop you from getting to areas. However, one thing that is odd you'll see up ahead is there is an airbending like wall, and behind it is an earthbending chest. Now this might not sound that weird, but we already went over how dumb the loot is. But get this. Airbending is the last element you unlock. Earthbending is the second. So what's the point of making the chest earthbending other than just, I guess, I don't know. I guess make it feel fun switching between the elements, like to make it feel like you have to use whatever one. Because I'll be honest, when I'm playing this, I don't switch the elements too much. I usually stick with earthbending. It just feels so powerful, especially whenever you max it out. You can do some crazy shit. And I've messed around with airbending a little bit. I'll see what it's like when I get it maxed out. But right now I still like earthbending more. And firebending is so far the biggest disappointment. I definitely need to work on it more because I'm only level 3 with it. They each go up to level 10. So there could be huge improvements between level 3 and level 10. Like earthbending at first is really disappointing because it's mostly a close quarters combat thing. Then later you get like projectile stuff or mid-range attacks, but it's just really awkward going from a projectile from like, water bending to going to I need to be in your face with earthbending. And we get to smash more chi blockers because they're assholes. Trying to take my chi. That is the most annoying attack in this entire game. The goddamn fart gas. I mean, it's not like, oh my god, it's so OP. It's just freaking annoying. It's like when you play Mario Kart and someone squids you or inks you, whatever you want to call it. And it's just you can't see, and then you lose. You go from 1st to 8th place, and then. It's like I've never been in a situation where that gas has went up and I haven't dropped my combo or just got hit by something I couldn't see. It's always bad news. On the other foot though, I just smashed those two guys with one attack. That's pretty sweet. So those of you that are keeping up with the recent news, a word of advice is do not threaten people on Twitter. There was this very small, like, single-digit number amount of employees game is coming out called Nautical something. It was like a underwater scary game or something. I can't remember. Paranautical activity, that's what it is. And anyway, something was going wrong with this guy's release or something. Like he was setting it up for early access and something was going wrong with it, and he's getting pissed off, which he has a right to get pissed off. And then he goes and sends death threats to Gabe Newell. And I don't know if this guy, like, if the guy was just joking, he definitely needs to clarify, oh, JK. But he wasn't joking, is the thing. Like, when you joke with a small group of friends, you can joke about killing and, you know, whatever. You're gonna be fine. But if you're someone who is the voice of a company or whatever, and you go on Twitter and threaten another person like that, things are gonna go down. Anyway, the effect of this is that they took his game off of Steam. So that's something. I mean, I don't know. I'd like to think this guy was just not an asshole and he was just joking around, but no, he's just an asshole. You read some of his other comments and he knows well aware what he's done. He kind of apologized to it, but in an asshole manner. It's just not something you really should do if you want good public appearance, you know, when you have a new game coming out.
Naga!
I mean, what if someone gives your game a bad review, you can send them a death threat too? It's just, dear God. This industry. And I find another one of these chests I have no idea what to do to. It is annoying. In other news, I have received demo access to Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I've been playing that a bit. It's really boring. It's probably the dumbest idea for a demo. You play through like very small objectives, and then it's like you beat the demo, and then it sends you back to the main menu and you can start it up again to do a new objective. Which is a cool idea. Like, you get to keep stuff transferred up to the game when it comes out. But my complaint is instead of like having it like a, you know, quest line or whatever, like, oh, I helped this guy find this thing and I'm gonna go beat some guys up, whatever. Like, I have to reset the demo every time. Well, it does it for me. It's not like I have to back out to the dashboard, but still, it's something they could have easily done, which I guess they're not going to put too much thought into a demo development for a game they know everyone's going to buy. They just wanted to put this in probably the hands of the press and stuff, so people would get hyped for it. which it does have a lot of improvements on X and Y, like the frame rate's up, just a lot of the stuff looks prettier. But anyway, this is not about X and Y.
Too many! Naga, where are you, girl? I need your help!
Let's see, Korra is about to get trapped, and Naga saves the day. Can we just agree the cinematics in this are awesome? I know it's literally just like the animation from the show. It looks slightly different. I don't know what it is. Like, I want to be able to tell you what they did differently. Maybe it's just the frames per second, or I have no idea. But there's something very off-putting by it. And we have our very first Naga scene, scenario, whatever you want to call it. It reminds me of, if you ever played Sonic, I think it's in Sonic 2? I think that's when it starts. I don't think it's in Sonic 1. Anyway, whenever you hit the checkpoints, if you have a certain amount of rings, there's like a little mini game you can attempt to play. And if you beat the mini game, you get a Chaos Emerald. And the mini game is like you're going down this tube, and you have to move left and right to pick up rings. And there'll be like bombs you have to avoid. You can either jump over them or just try to like serpentine around them and shit. I love Sonic. I wish it didn't get overshadowed by Mario so much. At least the early games. I will have to say Mario's kind of dominated the later games. I don't know. Well, some people like the newer Sonic games. I don't. I don't really care for them. The only characters I need are Sonic. I don't really need Tails. Knuckles is cool. And Dr. Robotnik. I don't need all these. Well, I guess you have...
I'm not giving up.
What is it, like a robot Sonic? It's like the boss in the first two games. Those are the only ones I've actually beaten. Are the first two. Which I didn't realize, like, until those were released on the Xbox 360 and I bought them. I did not realize how those games were pretty much the exact same, just a few differences. Like, I think you have like the same zones. There might be like a couple different zones or something. And this last boss is like really similar. Like, I did not notice that playing them as a kid, but I don't even think I beat them as a kid. I do not like these Naga things.
This isn't over yet.
It's just not fun. I want to get back to battles every time I get into this. I just want to smash faces. Which I usually like the kind of mini games like this. It's odd that I don't like this one. There are very annoying ones later in the game. At least one that I've encountered. That's all. Thank you guys for watching. Please stay tuned for part 3.